So,
Transition.
that, and we will be back.
Yeah.
Right. Are we
There we
live?
go. Now we are live. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm still very new to streaming and capturing all the screens and picking the wrong thing to show.
Yeah.
But here we are, the game, and everyone should be able to hear everyone.
Okay.
So
Shall I go through the intro again? That's fine if to do that.
yeah, it'll be easier when we do the post crop as well, I suppose.
Okay, cool. I'm currently I'm gonna get rid of the preview from the Discord as well if I can, just because I can see your cards and that won't be very good for this game. Can I do that? You know, I'll put it in the bottom right corner. I just won't look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Final take, introduction of the game. So my name is Niall from Crab Studios, and I'm here today with Langskip. Langskip is a 2 to 4 player bluffing racing game with a heavy theme of Vikings and Norse mythology as well. Even though it does look like quite light in terms of artwork and it's all very cartoony, there's a lot of the mechanisms and a lot of the abilities that the cards have are rooted in the mythology as well. Anyway, so the game is very, very simple. On your turn, you do only one thing. You play one card from your hand face down next to the board here in the discard pile. And when you do that, you say which card you played, but you could lie about it. So say, for example, we've done this intro 3 times now, so Dina knows what I'm playing. I'm playing a Freya, but I could just say I'm playing Odin. Now, if you look at the reference card here, so you can see that Odin allows you to move 3 and look at a player's hand. So I'd move 3 and then I'd ask to look at Dina's hand. But Dina can instead call me out on lying. And then she, if I was indeed lying like I was here, I'd instead not move any spaces at all. And Dina would get a mischief token, which she can use later. If she didn't call me out, then I'd do the complete action. I'd move 3, I'd look at her hand, and then afterwards, once it's clear that her turn has started, I'd gain a mischief token and I'd reveal that I was lying. If in an alternate reality I said that I actually did play Freya, so I put Freya from my hand, sorry, down face down and said I played Freya, and then I moved forward 1, and then Dina called me out for lying, but I wasn't lying, then she would move back 1. The reason why we start on space 2 and not space 1 is that if you call someone out for lying and move back onto space 1, then you can no longer call anybody out on lying. But in the event where this does happen and it's my go, I can't just say I'm playing just a random card and I'm going to move 20 spaces. You have to say a card which exists. So that would just be, in that case, that would just be like a free play for like something like Odin or something like that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh yeah, and you use mischief tokens. The reason why I want them is because they make Loki and his children better. So for example, just to give an example of Loki, with Loki, you can play it, move 1, but if you have the most mischief tokens, then you can move 5 instead, which is like a quarter of the board. So it's very powerful. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole game. So shall I go first?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna play Freya. I'm gonna move forward 1, and then I'm going to pick up a card to go back up to 2 cards, and then it is your go.
Okay, let's see what I have.
Yeah. So if I was lying, then I would have revealed it and gained a mischief token, but I was telling the truth.
Yeah, I would have to. Okay, so I am going to play. Let's see, what's the best move here? I'm gonna play. Oh, wait. Is that the best move I can do?
Oh yeah, I will say as well, on the reference card, you can see little numbers next to everybody's name. So very similar to Love Letter, the reference card tells you how many cards are in the deck.
I'm going to play Odin.
Okay.
which I remember. That's move 3 and look at your hand.
1, 2, 3, and then you get to look at my hand. That is my hand. So I have a Valkyrie and a Frigg.
Okay. Nice, thank you.
And then you pick up a card, and then it'd be my turn. Okay, so now it's my turn. I am going to. Okay, I thought you might have been lying there, but it seems like you're telling the truth. That's good. Okay, I am going to. I'm gonna play Frigg and move forward 1, but because you don't have a mischief token, I don't do anything. So it's your go.
Force me to lose 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I was lying. Yeah. So now I also gain a mischief token.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how
yeah,
you
that's a strategy that a lot of people use. Like they allow people to see their hand and then they give it a quick shuffle and play the other card.
I totally believed you there. Okay. I'm gonna play Frick.
So
I get to move 1.
I think you're lying.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! So you still get to do the action, and I lose the mischief token, but I also move back 1 space as well. I was sure you, because I've got Frigg as well. So
I lied on the first one, not this one.
Yeah. Wait, you lied on the first one?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So when you lied, you need to reveal that you lied. So you played okay. Yeah, because you lied successfully, so you should have gained the mischief token.
Oh, I forgot that part. Yeah. Oops.
No, it's okay.
My bad.
That's fine. we know now.
We know now.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use my Frigg then, and make you get rid of it and move forward 1. Unless you want to call me out.
No, I think I know. Remember that this is the right one. Let's see. I just got a question of someone asking for access to a TTS. Was it us or was it someone else? I'm gonna assume it was someone else. So many notifications. Oof. Yeah. Okay, so I have another card. Ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, okay. So I have no mischief token at the moment.
No.
I'm gonna play Fenrir.
Okay. So it's just a case of moving forward
1. Yeah.
And then you pick up another card.
I am a slow walker.
Right, okay. I'm going to play a Valkyrie and move forward 1. Yeah, what's cool about this game, I didn't realize, because I was working with an artist to make this game, and she is very, very big into Norse mythology. And what I wanted is I wanted a equal representation of like men and women, but I could, for some reason, I think it's just because of the way the media works. But like I could not for the life of me remember anybody other than Frigg, and that's just because she was in the Marvel movies. I can't think of it. And then it turns out there's like loads of like badass female gods, which is really, really cool. Like Freya. Yeah. Like I read Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book, and yeah, there's like sort of really cool stories with Freya in it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them are quite like close to the original stories too. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so I don't think you lied.
Okay.
You're chuckling, so maybe you did know. I am. Ooh, that's kind of cool card. I'm going to play Thor.
Okay.
So that gets me move 2 and force a player to discard their hand and redraw.
I think you're lying.
Really?
You were lying. Yes. You stay in the same space.
Okay. So I'm still in 7.
Yeah, I gain a mischief token, and now it's my go. I really didn't want to lose the card in my hand, which is Odin, which I'm going to play now.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yes.
Unlock a player's hand.
Yeah, so I get to
Hmm.
look at your hand now.
I'm gonna.
If that's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, here
Oh,
you go. Oh, I grouped them.
Fenrir. Okay, cool. Thank you. I've got it.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, I've taken the lead. Yes.
Yes, you do. So I'm going to play. Right, yeah.
Okay.
So, because you're in front of me now with Freya, I get to. Every player ahead of you skips their turn.
Yeah,
And I move.
unfortunately, it goes in the order of what's on the card. So first it's a move one, and
Mhm.
then every player ahead of you skips your turn.
Oh, so
So
you're the
because
same spot as me now.
yeah,
It doesn't work.
uh,
I should have let you have an extra lead.
all right, okay. I am going to play a Valkyrie and move forward one, and that's it.
Okay, okay. Valkyrie moves one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Hell.
Okay. So that means you're looking at the top three cards and picking one to play.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna do Odin.
Odin. Okay. So yes, that's a move three. 1, 2, 3. And you get to look at my hand.
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay. This is my hand.
That is Thor and a Valkyrie.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. And now because there's no cards to pick up, we have to wait until both of our hands are empty.
Ooh.
Um and then we reshuffle the deck and draw. And
Oh.
what that mechanic that mechanic I really like for a couple of reasons. I mean, I know I made the game, so I should really like the mechanic, but that's one of the main differences between this and any other card bluffing game which I've seen is that the main deck gets reshuffled multiple times in the same game. So
Mm-hmm.
like the odds of people having cards fluctuates quite
Hmm.
rapidly. And also it has a good there's a good opportunity to do this, so I'm gonna play Thor. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna move forward
Which
two and
I've.
make you discard your hand.
Oh, okay, okay. So,
Um,
fair.
yeah, and so because your hand is discarded and there's no cards to pick up, then I get another go now. So yeah,
Cheeky. Oh.
and so then I'm just gonna play a Valkyrie, and so that's technically that's that round over, if we're to call it rounds. Then we reshuffle, and then both of us draw two cards.
All right. So
Then
now
now it's
you're
your go.
ahead of me.
Yeah, it's a close game though.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I'm going to play a Valkyrie.
Okay. I think you're lying. Oh, you're telling the truth. So you get to move on.
Oh yes! Oh yes! All right. So, Garlic SCR from the chat is wondering, like, how do you really win at this game? Like,
The best thing to do is, in my experience, I mean, some people can just win from just telling the truth all the way through and just getting some good cards.
mm-hmm,
But the best way for me is to get mischief tokens to make well, for in this example, because Jormungandr isn't in the game, I'll show off Jormungandr in a sec. But it makes Loki really powerful, and it can make Fenrir really, really powerful as well.
mm,
So like most of our cards just allow us to move one up the board, but like Fenrir, say if you have 3 mischief tokens, that can allow you to move 7 up the board in one go. And also on top of that, you can lie about playing a Fenrir, play it, still use all your mischief tokens, and then you can get a mischief token back for lying, and then you can use him again in the future. So there's a lot of strategy revolving around lying.
yeah.
Um, Now, in the 3 and 4 player version, there is a Jormungandr as well, which allows you kind of like it's a really really big catch up mechanic because this game is quite for like the casual audience.
Mhm.
But if you can swap positions with the nearest player, but if you have a mischief token, you can swap position with any player. So the nearest player can be good or bad because, say, for example, if I just remember that you're on 12
Mhm.
and I'm on 11, if I move myself down to 10 and I put this guy up on 18, and you played Jormungandr without using a mischief token, you wouldn't swap with 18, you'd swap
Yeah.
with me, so you'd actually move backwards because I'm the nearest player. Um, but if you use the mischief token, which you need to get from either lying or calling people out on lying, then you could swap position with 18th place. So that is a very, very powerful card. But because in a two-player game, the nearest player is always the other person,
Mm.
there isn't like that's not in the two-player game.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, so there's two Jormungandrs in here, Jormungandrs and one Valkyrie just to balance out the
Mhm.
ratio of cards in the. So
That's
usually
really
in the
clever.
full game there'd be 18 cards. But anyway, is it my go? I think it's my go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I am going to. Both of these cards aren't very good right now. Uh. Okay. I am going to frig for now and just move one, even though you don't have a mischief token.
Okay. I'm. I see you. I see you. I see you. I'm gonna play Frigg.
I was lying.
No! Oh!
So again, a mischief token.
Oh no! I was like, there's no way. Your face is too straight for that
Yeah.
one. Alright, so
Oh, I
at least I
forgot my
get to.
webcam was on. No,
Yeah.
I'm awful at this game in real life. Like I'm much better on Tabletop Simulator. In real life, I just don't have a straight face at all.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah. They're
okay.
from the chat they're
Oh,
saying that the artwork looks really great.
oh, thank you. Yes, I paid an artist to commission this, but I don't feel like even an artist with a similar skill level could have done this so good because she was just so passionate about the theme and so yeah, I just stumbled across her and like on her portfolio she didn't have anything to do with Norse mythology or Vikings or anything like that, but it turns out it was a big sort of passion for her. Um, so yeah, I'll see if in fact let me just pimp her Instagram. I forgot what it is. I think it's called Spooky Studios, but studios with two O's instead of a U and an I. So like kind of spelt the same as spooky.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely go check her out because this is actually her first ever commissioned piece as well, which is a bit difficult to
Ooh.
believe just because of how
Wow.
beautiful the game looks.
Yeah.
Um,
Really loving the sections of how it's telling the story of like
yeah,
Jotunheimen and
yeah. And this is this all of this fits into such a tiny box as well. The box is the same size as a love letter box. Like it's really, really small. If I can get this up on the camera here. Um, but yeah, so what we did is we got it into the board to be like a trifold board. So like it
oh
just
yeah.
folds really, really small and fits into the box. So yeah, it can be a really good travel game this as well, which you might not expect because of how long the board is.
Mm. Just gonna show off
But
this.
yeah. Yeah, so we've got like little stories for that was another thing as well. I wanted to try and tell a story, but it's kind of difficult with something like this because the story's already out there.
Mm.
Um, but like for example with Frigg, I kind of continued her story on from anything that's been told. Like for example, from what I've read anyway, for the most part, her story sort of ends with the death of a son
Of
Balder.
Balder,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to carry it on. So like after the loss of a son Balder, by the hands of Loki, Frigg makes it her mission to rid the world of mischief through love and magic. So that's why her card gets rid of mischief tokens.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really clever.
yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
my
Whose go
turn.
is it?
Oh,
Yes, I
I
think
forgot
so.
to
Yeah.
pick a card. Alright, so you lied and you haven't called me on my lie, so we're good. And I'm actually going to play a Thor. So that gives me two, and then what else was
Yeah.
it? Thor redraw their hand.
Yeah, so discard and redraw. So I get rid of my
Yeah.
2 cards. I didn't really like my cards anyway, so that's fine. Pick
Oh
2 more up.
man.
All right.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Um, I don't know whether to play it now. How many
Hmm.
spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play Loki now and move forward 5 because I have the most mischief tokens.
Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Does he have? Do we do we believe you?
I, I don't know. You can call me out if you want.
Yeah, I think you're lying.
You think I'm lying?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yes!
So I move back 1, 2, 3,
Gotcha!
4, 5, and you gain a
Oh!
mischief token.
I
There
got a
you
mischief token. I was like, there's no way. Like, you were moving so much on camera. I was
go.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a lie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't got a straight face at all.
I am going to play a Fenrir, and I have a
Mm-hmm.
Mischief token, so I'm kind of
Yep.
using it
Yep.
to move more. So
Yeah,
that
so you move
gets
3 in
me
total.
3 in total.
Oh my god, you're
Look at
very
that.
close.
Look at that, people. 18. I'm on 18, and he's just on 12. I mean,
Oh
this is
no.
your game, right? So
I know.
if I win
I mean,
this,
to be fair, that's the rule with most games. You never win your own game.
it's
You're
true. Yeah, I was chatting to like Taylor Hayward from Green Meadow Games, and he was like, never like, yeah, he loves it whenever he gets beaten in his own game, and that's like how it should be. And I was talking
yeah.
about it on Twitter, and there was a couple of game designers going like, no one ever beats me at my game. And
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, do you want to try that? Like, do we, I'll throw on a convention and we'll have it so like from the weekend. You just take the time off and have everyone beat you. And the one who does gets like a free pledge or something. And he was like,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe. It didn't happen this time, but next time there's a
Yeah.
convention, I'm gonna find that cockiest game designer I can find
Mm.
in the community and go like, we're gonna beat you at your own game.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like if like that's certain, then there isn't enough like room for players to have like different strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds like there's only like one way to play, and as soon as you figure that out, then you're just gonna win every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I like the fact with my games that I lose often, and it's usually in ways which I don't expect, because it's a player taking something which I've done and then sort of adding their own
Mm-hmm.
twist to it. Anyway,
Okay, it's
so
your turn.
it is. Yes, I am
And I'm
going
gonna say
to.
that I lied.
Oh no! You get a mystery token.
I got
Very good.
another Mr. Token.
Wait, didn't you say you played Fenrir? I
Oh,
thought you said you played Fenrir.
I did. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I was like, did I? I was like, did I? No, I did not. Yeah. Oh, silly
Uh,
me. I was like, sure, this time I'm gonna lie. But then we were distracted by talking.
Yeah, oh, that happens often as well in real life. They'll say that they're gonna play a card, and then they'll accidentally actually play the card
I
rather than the other
did.
card.
I was gonna play the other one. That is fantastic. I was like, did I lie now?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Odin. 1, 2, 3. Pick up a
Okay.
card, and then I'm gonna look at your hand. That's all
Oh,
right.
okay. Yeah, sure. You can look at my hand. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It was me a pleasure to show you. Okay. I want to win this. So it's my turn. I don't think you lied, so I'm gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
And what is I'm playing? I'm playing Frigg.
Okay.
So Frigg lets me move one and force a player to discard a mischief
Yeah.
token.
It's a really good job you did that because I was about to win.
A little bit
So
worried about, yeah, you got a good
yeah,
stack of.
yeah. I'm just gonna play Fenrir and spend my token to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Like if you didn't get rid of that mischief token, then I would have won because I could have moved 5.
But then,
Um,
did you
and now it's
really play Fenrir?
I don't know. It's your go now anyway, and you're only
Hmm.
one space away, so I don't know whether you'd want to risk getting it
True.
wrong.
True. So I'm going to play a Valkyrie.
Okay.
I'm not going to
So you'd
say
move forward 1, and then you'd win unless you were lying, which you weren't,
which
so
I
you win.
didn't.
Congratulations.
Oh wow, I did win. Oh. So I
Nice.
only got to lie twice. And yeah, you were really tricky there. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah. The more
lucky
you play, the
kind.
more sort of what's the word? Comfortable you are with lying.
Hmm.
From what I found with playing people with people in
Definitely.
real life.
Yeah. You play it the first time and then you go like, what if we switch it up a little?
Yeah, there's some people which just never lie ever, but it's I don't think I've never had someone that didn't lie ever and won.
Hmm.
I've had people get close, but it's just most of the time you just never have the right cards to
Yeah.
be able to play that way. Um, yeah,
That's cool. I
yeah.
mean, we're gonna play again or
We can
you
do if you want, if that's up to you. I don't think I have anybody coming to the session today because I had
Mm.
one scheduled from 12 till 3. But yeah, we can play again if you want to.
And if there are people, they could join us.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
for sure.
see. If you check if there's anyone coming, and we will know.
Yeah, I will have a quick gander. Where are we? Game sign up. Yeah, this morning there wasn't anybody, so I'd
Mm.
be. Yeah, I had a couple of people on yesterday on my other game, Food Time Balance Space, which just finished its Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Um, yeah.
I mean, if you want to
Uh,
try another game, I'm game for that.
we could play Food Time Balance Space. It's a bit longer. It'll probably take us about half an hour, 40 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
absolutely fine. I don't have anyone confirmed as of yet until Dog's Bond is coming up and we're gonna play their game at 9 a.m. PST, 6 p.m. CET, aka midnight Sunday for what is it? HKT?
I
So
don't
many.
know. HKT sounds like Hong Kong, maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours from now.
okay, here we are.
Ooh, very different.
Yeah, so in the physical version of the game, there aren't any player boards. This is just for Tabletop Simulator.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely makes it neat and
Yeah,
tidy.
yeah, just because there's quite a few cards. Right, okay. So
Start by telling us about the game, and I mean, you did a relaunch on Kickstarter, didn't you? I seem to recall.
yes. So what happened was about halfway through the Kickstarter. I think we were probably on track just reach the goal. I think we were 60% of the way through with about 2 weeks left. So there was a chance. But
Hmm.
I got contacted by the same person that made the prototypes for this game, so I already knew their quality, and the quality was really good even for a prototype. Um, and they said to me that they do full print runs, and they're based in the UK, and
Mm.
they can do a print run. Their minimum orders start at 100 rather than like 1,500 or 2,000 like in China.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there, so like obviously smaller print run equals less money that I need up front. And also I don't have to pay upwards of £1,000 just for shipping
Mm-hmm.
to get it from China to the UK, especially at the moment when um it's all really confusing with Brexit and customs and stuff like that. Like now I have to like whenever I ship a game to the EU, I have to add a customs label to everything, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, anyway, so yeah, with that, he rang me unprompted, and I was like, wow, okay, this is actually could work, and we could even reach some stretch goals if we made the goal lower, and we did, and it funded within 4 hours, which was crazy. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, and it funded in 4 hours, and we reached like 3 stretch goals. Um, and I'll mention that actually in a second because it's a slightly outdated version of the game.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, that was all for artwork because um, I really like to prioritize giving my artists as much work as possible. Like, for
Hmm.
example, all the stretch goals for Langskip, which will be launching on Kickstarter at the end of July this year, they'll be all art orientated. Like, I have a bunch of cool ideas for like alternate card art. Like, for example, with Thor, I'd like to add an extra card where it's like Bride Thor because like of the story where he dresses up as a bride.
Yeah.
And like Loki being a horse because he like pretends to be a horse at some point. And I thought that'd be really cool. And that's all just like additional out. Sorry, one second. Can you hear that noise?
No.
Someone. Oh, well, I can. I'll close the window anyway. Um,
Okay.
yes. Well, yeah. Someone decided to start trimming the
Ooh.
hedges right outside the door, or right outside the window. Anyway, so yes. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so it funded really quickly. We got a bunch of stretch goals. We got like over 100 backers. And it's like quite a tight knit community as well. So what I'm doing with Food Time Battle in Space is I'm adding a little like unit number on
Mhm.
every single box. So like each backer can see what like sort of number they were, and it's like quite like a collector's item. There'll be 250 made, and they'll I don't know if I'm going to be going e-commerce because I kind of just want to keep it really tight knit, and I might just keep it to conventions because then I can meet every single person that's going to be playing the game.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Like, for example, we're going to be at UK Game Expo this year, showing the game off. But anyway, yeah. So the main difference between this game and the final version, physical version of the game, is that the artwork is not updated. So in the original version of the game, just because of budgetary constraints, I only had 2 portraits made for each level of critic.
Hmm.
So there are duplicates of artwork for most of the cards, but they are completely different cards. So, for example, like these 2 cards are very different, even though they're the same artwork. So just to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much it. It is a. I'll explain the game now. Now that I've rambled for ages, it's what happens when you ask me questions.
It
Um,
is, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, this is Food Time Battle in Space is a game set in the 1950s, in an alternate version of reality where humans went to the moon and colonized the moon in the late 1940s. And a bunch of humans moved there and started colonizing the moon, but they realized very quickly that there was nothing good to eat. So a bunch of restaurateurs got together and was like, okay, we're going to go to the moon and we're going to capitalize on like just there being um, no competition and just trying to monopolize the moon like with their restaurants.
Mhm.
But soon, a bunch of people had that idea. So now, to try and differentiate themselves, they're trying to be the first restaurant to gain a 5-star rating.
5 star.
And that's where our sort of story begins. So we're in the early 1950s at this moment, and the game itself is a light engine building game. So it's akin to sort of like Splendor in terms of engine building, where you really want to get those low, easy to get cards to build up your engine to make it easier to go for the harder critics later on. So the main way
Okay.
that you get stars, because the first person to get 5 stars wins, is that you complete critics, complete critic orders. So at the top of every critic card, these are just the card backs. Some people get confused about them. Is the star rating which you will get if you complete the order. So for this one, it's half a star. This one, it's a full star, and for this one, it's 2 stars.
Mm.
On the left hand, on the top left hand side of every critic, is the amount of ingredient cards you need in order to complete it. So the way a turn order works is that you get ingredient cards, play them, and do when you're trying to complete a critic. But I'll get into that in more detail. So as you can see, like these ones are quite easy. Like they only need 4 ingredients, while this one needs 9 ingredients, which is very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
And in the top right is the amount of luxury ingredients you need to be able to get their ability at the bottom. So you need to
Mm.
not only pay attention to the ingredients you play, but also the type of ingredients as well. and the abilities at the bottom are what is like your engine, which you are building to make it easy for yourself to go for the more difficult cards. Each restaurant is completely different in terms of abilities as well. It's very asymmetric. So this deck, which I've got here, the Luna Burger deck, is all about hand size because like you eat a burger with your hands. So I just thought that would be cool. So it's all about increasing your hand size limit. And trying to sort of get all your ingredients ready before you place even a single one down. Whilst with your deck, it's all about discarding cards. So it's all about getting rid of ingredients you don't want right now, but then to get them back later. And I'll explain why you want to do that now because I talked about it briefly, but you know what I'll do is I'll do an example first turn, and that'll probably best explain how the ingredients work. So in fact, I'll just show an ingredient here. So there are ingredients in your ingredient deck, and each ingredient card has a number in the top left, and this is an indication of where they go in your order. So when you place cards down, you want to place them in ascending sequential order. So, for example, if I had these 3 cards in my hand, I'd want to play down 1, 3, and 6. And this is just an example of what a luxury ingredient looks like. It's got a yellow background.
Okay.
And the reason the difficulty behind that, because that sounds quite easy, you just pick up cards and you put them in the right order and put them down like a child could do that. But the difficulty is for example with this card where it requires 4 ingredients, every player's default hand size, no matter what the order, is 3. So I'd have to pick up 3 cards. Oh, this is a good example, actually. And then I have to put them all down before I can pick up more cards from my ingredient deck. So I'd have to put these 3 down, and then I have to pick up 3 more. Now, because of that 12, I can't put down any more ingredients in my hand, because in my hand, all I have is a 4, 3, and 11. So you have to be really... So that's where the difficulty comes into play. Like, for example, if I drew that 11 was down and I drew the 4, 3, and the 12, then on my next turn, I can just play the 12, and that'll be 4 ingredients, and I complete the order. So yeah, all your cards are about either making it easier to get more cards in your hand, so you don't have to draw more, because that's where a lot of the danger comes into play. Or like with your deck, for example, it's all about getting rid of cards you don't want, and then maybe bringing them back later when you do want them.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the game. There's your chef card as well, which has 3 abilities on it. We'll get into more detail about them when that comes up. So like but just to give you a rundown, you can only do one of the 3 abilities on your chef per turn. Oh, I'm lagging a bit. Oh, a second.
Okay.
Are we okay? Are we all good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay, cool. Why is it lagging on my end?
It's looking smooth here at least.
Okay. Okay, I think it's fine. Yeah, so on your chef card, you have draw an additional card, which is an ingredient card, refresh a critic ability, which I'll talk about in a sec, or start working overtime, which is essentially having a second turn. But the ingredients you used on your last order, they just go out of the way. They don't go back into your ingredient deck. So, say, for example, if you complete the 6, well, the 6 isn't a good example because there's 12 ingredients in the deck. But say, for example, if there is... I'll find it eventually. Yeah, if there's a 7, then you need to make sure that you have enough. Once you complete it, you have enough ingredients in your deck to be able to complete another order. Like, for example, you won't be able to complete the 6 because there's only 12 cards in your ingredient deck. Yeah, so refreshing a critic ability. When you get critic abilities, you put them over here. But when you use them, you turn them sideways, and then you can't use them again unless you use your chef to refresh them. And so you can use them again then. And also, if you have a bunch of critics which are dead, like sideways, then it might be a good idea to just not do your turn for that turn. And if you don't do your turn, then you can choose to refresh 2 critics at once. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, shall I go first?
Yeah, let's try this. So I'm gonna shuffle this red deck here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so to state, first of all, you got to state which critic you're going to go for.
Okay. Do I get to draw first, or do I have to state it first?
You have to state it first.
Okay. So I'm thinking this old granny here is.
Yeah.
Discard all cards in your hand or reduce the number of ingredients required to complete the order by 1. And you?
We could do these. We'll do like one turn at a time.
Alright.
So do you want to go first or shall I? Sorry.
You do.
Okay, I'll go first. Sorry. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna go for this 4. I'm gonna draw 3 cards to start with because my default hand size is 3. I'm gonna place them down. Now, alternatively, what I could do is to be like super safe. I could just use my chef to draw an additional card, and then I place all 4 cards down at once. Like that's a way to do it. But I want to save my chef to start working overtime so I can complete 2 orders in one go. So I'm going to risk it by playing 3 cards, drawing 3 more, and thankfully I got the 12. So I complete the order. I had enough luxury ingredients as well, so I gained the ability and I gained the half star. A new card is revealed, and now I can choose to work overtime, which is what I'm going to do. So I use my chef. Unlike the critic cards, the chef refreshes at the start of every turn. So I'm going to play these 2 cards in my hand down first because I can't draw any cards unless my hand is empty. And then I'll pick up 3 more. And thankfully, that was a really good turn for me. Well, it doesn't usually go that well, but I managed to complete the order and gain the ability. 3 ingredient cards don't have a star reward though. So that's it for me.
All right, and then you just shuffle them back in.
Yeah, everything goes back into the deck, and that's it.
All right, so I'm gonna start by drawing 3, and reshuffle them, pull them all down, like so.
Okay.
3
it only requires 3 ingredients. This one.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, you didn't have enough luxury ingredients to be able to get the ability. So what it does, it just goes to the bottom of the deck, and then a new one is drawn.
Okay, and then these stay.
These just go over here until. Do you want to work overtime and try and complete this 4?
Yeah, that lets me get 1 more card.
Yeah. No, sorry. No. So if you want to try and complete another order on the same turn, then you have to use your chef ability here to start working overtime. So if you turn it sideways, then you have to then you just play all the cards in your hand like normal and then draw 3 more.
All right, so I play these.
Okay. So you need a 12.
I do, which I did get.
Nice. That was very lucky. That was very good. So you complete the order because you had the luxury ingredient as well. You get half a star, and then you put all the ingredients back into your deck, and then it's my go. Okay.
Lucky me.
Yeah. So if you are interested at any point in looking at like the take that mechanics and stuff, they're usually found in the level 2 critic deck, which is the yellow one. Like for example, by this card, by the end of your turn, if you have more cards in your discard pile than you have stars, force a player to discard a star. So if you wanted to go for those, you could. But yeah, anyway, so okay, what am I gonna go for? Okay, I don't really want that for now, so I'm just gonna go for my level 1s again. So I'm gonna go for this 3. Lovely. I'm getting very, very lucky with luxury ingredients today.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice. And then I'm gonna work. Yeah, gonna work overtime and draw 3 more. I'm going for this 4. Wow. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3. That's very, very good. I don't know what's happening. And then the 9. There we go. So I've now completed my level 1 deck.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And then that's it. There we go.
Okay. All right. Righty. So let's do a shuffle. He goes back and 3. So I need 3 with a special ingredient.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I think I can do.
Nice.
Okay, and then I get 3 more. And he needs 4 with a special ingredient. Okay, no. Can I
Remember, you
use?
can use these. Yeah, you can use those if you want.
Hmm. Add the last 2 cards you discarded.
Yeah, so I should mention, because some people get a bit confused, so I've added it in the rule book as well for the final version. Is discarding cards doesn't mean these cards here,
No.
and it
Okay.
doesn't mean cards in your work in this bit here. If you discard a card, it goes into a separate discard pile.
Hmm. Okay, so that won't help me get these then.
No. But
And
for example,
if
if you discarded 2 cards with this, then you could use this granny to get them back.
so let's see. I need 4. So I discard 2 cards.
And then you draw a new one.
One new one.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's a much better start. And I play them.
Yes, if you want to draw more cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that. Nice.
Nice.
This.
Congratulations. You got the ability and you got the half star, so now you're on 1 star.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually. The reason why the 3s don't have half stars is because people found the strategy of which, to be fair, isn't bad, but it wasn't what I thought was super fun about the game, and people were missing out from it. But they would purposefully try to avoid playing luxury ingredients because the cards would go back to the deck, so they just farm the cards over and over again. And sometimes they'd win,
Okay.
and yeah. Anyway, okay, so
Balance it. Yeah.
yeah, right. I might go for this 9 now. I think I might have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should mention, if you do fail an order, you lose half a star. I forgot to mention that. So that's why it's a bit risky to go for the more
Higher ones, yeah.
yeah, but I'm gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is, before I even draw, I'm going to decrease my hand size limit by 1, and decrease the ingredients required to complete the order by 1. So now this is only an 8, but my hand size is 2. But because my hand size is 2, I can use this card, which says if your hand size is smaller than 3, I can increase my hand size limit to 5 for the rest of the order. So now this is an 8, and my hand size limit is 5.
That's a nice combo.
Yeah. Okay. Oh dear. Right. This might not work. We'll see. Right. I'm going to play these 3 cards, and then I'm going to use this card which says draw ingredients until I reach my hand size limit, and my hand size limit is 5, so I draw 3 more. Oh wow, that's perfect. That is incredible. Okay, so I need 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Oh, nearly put them in the wrong order then. That would have been embarrassing. There we go. Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was very worried I'd get the 1 and the 2, but thankfully I didn't.
So you have 2 and you need
Yeah, so I don't have enough, but this deck has a card which allows you to use this card, and I can get this card anyway, despite not having enough luxury cards. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so I get the 2 stars as well for that, so a big jump.
That's a massive jump.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now, as you can see, almost all of my cards have been used up, so now I won't have them for next turn.
That's a pricey one to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have add the last 2 cards to discard it. Discard a luxury card, increase your hand set limit by 2 for the rest of the order. So let's see. It seems like a big gamble. Like you need a little bit of backup to go for this one. I mean 9. No mini card. I'm gonna go for this one.
Okay.
Seems like the way to start.
Yeah, it's funny watching people's approaches. like different approaches because like you're being very sensible, which is good. But like going for these, but some people just keep whacking, just going for the nines over and over again, even though it's
Mhm.
almost impossible to get it. Like the highest natural completion I've seen like with no ingredients is a 7, and that's it, and that was quite wild as well. So yeah. Oh, nice. It's very nice sushi. You got some asparagus,
Mm,
salt, and crab. That sounds nice.
salted
Very
crab.
good.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you going to work overtime on the 6 or the 9, or are you just going to use your chef to refresh this card for
I'm
next
gonna
turn?
use my chef to refresh the card.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna need it.
Okay. Jolly good. Right.
And then I turn
I
him,
want to do.
right?
Yeah, turn
There you
him. Yeah.
go.
Um. Hmm. Yeah, I've got quite a few ideas for an expansion for this game. Well, I've had the theme sort of set in stone for a while.
Hmm.
It's going to be in like the 1970s, 1980s, and it's going to be aliens come but the working title for the expansion is called, well, not expansion, but like sequel is called Andromeda Invasion. So like aliens are going to come
Ooh.
to the moon, and the artwork's going to be quite comical because the idea is that they're trying to disguise themselves as humans in the 1980s, but they're just doing a terrible job. Like there's like aliens with like 4 eyes and like tentacles, but they've got like an afro on and like a disco shirt. So
Ooh.
yeah, they're trying to disguise themselves, but not doing very well. And the main new mechanic I wanted to introduce into that, well, two, is I want to introduce a board which allows you to gain permanent benefits. Like so for each like 2 critics you like increase your hand size limit by 1 permanently and stuff like that. And also, I wanted to add a tolerance mechanic because the aliens they can only tolerate a certain amount of like human food, and the same for humans as well. They can only tolerate a certain amount of alien ingredients. So I wanted to add like a tolerance there as well. But anyway, I'm
It's
just gonna
really
refresh
neat.
these. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna refresh these 2 grannies. The granny combo, and
It
that's it
seems
for my
rather
turn.
powerful, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe this one
Okay.
or this one.
That's a really good one to get early on in the game, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this
Mhm.
one. Okay. 3 cards. Oh, no. That's not gonna work.
Remember, you have your abilities as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's see which I'm I think discard electric card, increase your hand. How many electric cards is there in total?
3.
3. Okay. So it's doable.
I
Hmm.
mean, you can always add the luxury card back into your hand with this as well if you wanted to.
Yeah. I'm gonna discard all cards in my hand and reduce the. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so then I would have to add the last 2 cards I discarded this turn back into your hand. It's tricky, tricky,
Hmm.
tricky, tricky, tricky.
I will say with this one, you can play cards first, so you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to have a full hand. You can just have 1 card in your hand and use it if you wanted to as well.
Oh no, I'm gonna need to get rid of all of them, but also I need like half of them.
Yeah.
Mm.
This chef is back, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start here, I think. Discard 2 cards and draw 1 new card.
Hmm.
Okay, so this. That's better.
I will also say as well, if you use a critic card and then refresh them with your chef, you could use them again in the same turn if you wanted to use them twice.
Oh,
So
that's
that's an idea if you wanted to do that.
yeah. Oh yeah. So wait, so I could use the chef to draw a note to just refresh him?
You could use a chef to refresh him if you wanted to, yeah. And then use it again.
For another 2 cards.
Hmm.
I need 6.
Yeah. I mean, alternatively, you could use this twice and turn it into a 4 if you wanted to.
Yeah. All the possibilities. What are
Yeah.
we gonna do? How are we gonna play this one? Because they're gonna go into discard here. But this one would only let me take the last 2 cards back. And what are the odds of me getting? Because then here I would have a 12. And on 3 cards and a total of 8. That's math for you. Okay, I'm gonna try. Just try. Let's try. Add this back into my hand. There. And then I draw 3 new ones.
Hmm. Nice.
Can
Oh,
I,
you need to.
can I play all of
Then you
them?
can.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
and then you can use that to reduce it to a 5.
Mm-hmm. So 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5. Yeah. So discard all cards in your hand and reduce the number of. So this goes into discard. And there.
Nice.
Then I have it.
Nice. Yeah, congratulations. And you have the nothing luxury ingredients as well. Very good. 2 stars. So yep, so you could use you wouldn't be able to use this card now actually.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because you have the 2 stars, unfortunately. Because you didn't use your chef, you could work overtime still if you wanted to, but or you could just refresh a card.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh cards.
Okay.
Oop, I also accidentally clicked.
Okay, I'm gonna go for this 6 here. So I'm going to
All
decrease
right.
my hand size limit, make it a 5, increase it my hand size limit to 5. Draw 5 cards.
So
Oh
who
dear.
did the artwork for this one?
This one was done by someone called well, they go by the name Fodsley on Instagram. That's how they wanted to be credited on the box. They didn't want their real name to be used. So
Cool.
Fodsley on Instagram, check them out. They do their commissions are constantly open and they're constantly busy as well. But if you want to get like portrait work done, then that's good. That's one of the big things for the Kickstarter, which went really, really well, is that we had um, portrait pledges. So it was open to just 10 people, and 10 people could choose to have a portrait of themselves or someone else added to the game. And there'd be a permanent card in the game, and it's really, really cool.
Oh
Do
wow.
I have a box anywhere? No, I don't. But yeah, like for example, one of the best moments in making games which I've ever had is a dad someone who backed Food Time Battle in Space at the Portrait Pledge was a dad to this to his 3-year-old daughter, and he wanted to have his 3-year-old daughter in the game with a teddy bear so that in the
Oh,
future she can see that she's in the game,
that
and
is
that
so
was really,
cute.
really
Oh
cool. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and so I got a really lovely email from him. Like, cause it's very weird. Like, if you have, if oh, I know you've run Kickstarters obviously, but just genuinely like the viewer, if you never run a Kickstarter before, I mean, I suppose it's different from everyone else. But when it ends, it's kind of odd. Like you might, for me, but before I started running Kickstarters, I imagine like champagne bottles and like everyone cheering them. But it's very an odd experience after a month of trying super super hard at one thing. You just kind of just want to like veg or just like chill for like an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but like I was like just chilling, and then I got the email, and I'm like, oh, this is exciting, and I got excited about the fact that I made a game. um, because yeah, someone really loved it. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So
And we were talking about yesterday. We had some game designers on here chatting. Really, when your Kickstarter is done, you're 10% in. You have
mm,
fulfillments, and it's so much work. Um,
yeah,
Green Meadow Games, like they went on a honeymoon right after their Kickstarter just to okay, just to disconnect for a little bit. And I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, everyone should just take a month off and just because now comes the big work. This
Hmm.
is this is the heavy part.
Yeah. I like to take it, like from the last two Kickstarters I've done, the time which I've sort of taken off, though I'm not doing it this time around because Langskip is launching so quickly. The
Mm.
reason why Langskip is launching so quickly after Food Time Balance Space is because I want to launch it at the a gaming convention called UK Games Expo, which is like the biggest board gaming convention in the UK.
Mhm.
And so I want to launch it there, but their convention is July 30th. But if I wasn't doing that, then probably round about now, when the games are currently being manufactured, that's when I'd take like a week off or something, just to sort of reset before you go into fulfillment and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, you do need to decompress after a Kickstarter because it's just so you just kind of like all in to something for like a month straight, and then yeah. I'm glad to see. What's the game called? What the What? Is that the name of the game?
Yeah, that's my current
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
yeah. That's doing very well. I'm happy about that. I really like the art style. It's very cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been doing really well for like
Mm.
we did a really short pre-launch on it. So
Mm-hmm.
we had a month probably.
Mm-hmm.
Just me chatting with people and finding influencers and shipping out a prototype real quickly. And we had um, a manufacturer in the US who did the prototypes. So luckily, we're gonna use those for when the game is over, and we're gonna ship it
Mm-hmm.
out. So we got a really good deal there. But just in a month, you're finding influencers, sending out a game, hoping that everyone is able to do it before launch. And
Yeah.
we had to push launch because we were doing gel ads.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so many things
Yeah.
happening, and I feel sorry for Stacey Katz, who's the game designer for this, because she's just so many things happening all the time, and
Mm.
emails here and there, and just so stressful. And I said at the beginning, 1 month it's doable, but
Mm.
you're gonna be doing nothing else. It's going to
Yeah.
be, you're gonna live and breathe Kickstarter until you hit the launch, and probably for the first few weeks into it, and it's just so much work. And I'm helping Sosa's launched the 25th of May as well. So it was helping out finding influencer for one game and then pitching it
Mm.
to a lot of the same ones that we wanted for
Yeah.
the other game because they are a good fit. It was okay, so I can pitch it for them and I can also pitch this other game for them in the same email chain. And I'm chatting to influencers going hey, so I also have this other game if you're wanting that. And then at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm working with Dice Coalition to get Hyper Wars out, which also has some overlapping. So, and
Yeah.
then having three conversations with the same person, going yes, and then this game is also I'm working with them on that, and they're what do you do again? And I'm who
Yeah.
are you? Why are you giving me all these games? And I'm well, I do social media, and they're yeah, but is this all you do? You just do Kickstarters? I'm yeah, I just do Kickstarters. So it's been a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a similar sort of situation with Langskip and food and this game Food Time Balance Space because I managed to be able to get all of my influencers on board scheduled in either in the first wave or second wave because we're passing the prototype along
Mhm.
between reviewers. I managed to get all that in and organized within about 2 days, which was crazy. And whilst I was sending I was on thankfully most of them were on Facebook, so instead of doing emails I could just have a bunch of messenger
Mhm.
windows open. But I realized halfway through I'm oh, Food Time Battle in Space is going to be here soon. I need reviewers for that. So I kept going back and be like, oh, I've also got this game which is actually done. Do you want a copy as well? And that sort of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, it's great how we can just like build communities based on these outreaches as well, because you stick with them, and you when they're doing good work, you want to take the next game back to them because you're liking their style, and it's creating this sort of I don't know, it's like kind of like a little bubble around each game designers, and then you're wondering like who are their first, like the first ones to reach out to, like who are your
Yeah.
favorites. And it's so cool because obviously there are so many different wonderful content creators out there, and they all have their own style. They're
Yeah.
all, they're pouring so much of themselves into what they're doing, and it's just like depending on what game, there's a handful of people that would be a good match, and it's always nice to see like where does the games overlap to what kind of audience they have, and it's just I just absolutely love this part of the job. And you get to see
Yeah.
the reviews, and you're the first one to see it, and you're like, "Oh, this is so exciting!" And it's your game, and
That is, yeah,
I'm like,
that's one of my favorite parts as well.
"Oh, yeah!" And you're like
Yeah.
collaborating and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite people just to watch. I mean, they have reviewed Food Time Battle in Space before Kickstarter, but the Hairy Game Lords, if you've ever heard of them,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they live actually really close to me in real life as well.
Ah,
But yeah, they're just so real, which is what I like about it. Like, it doesn't feel like they're reading the script or anything like that. They're just talking, which is
yeah.
very nice.
I was
Um,
watching Unfiltered Gamers, I think it was yesterday,
yeah.
and I was like, this was my first interaction with Unfiltered Gamers. Like I haven't seen their content
Mm,
before. And I was like, I wonder like what their style is. Like, why is the name Unfiltered Gamer? I turned the video on, and within like a minute, I'm like, oh, that's why it's the Unfiltered Gamer. And I'm like, that's a really cool take on it because I haven't really seen, but he just chats, and it's just like. Yeah, you could just put this
mm,
on the background and just listen to him talk about all these games, and
mm.
it's just so cool, so cool.
Yeah, funnily enough, like with Langskip, it's going to be my first time working with Unfiltered Gamer as well because,
Oh,
I always like to find one reviewer to like pay for, essentially one with like a good amount of
clout.
subscribers, yeah, and like someone like if you put their logo on your Kickstarter, they're going to be like, okay,
This
I
one.
know I know this person. So it was an Unfiltered Gamer this time around. So I'm very excited to see and work with them because as well for their subscriber count, they're not relatively cheap as well, which is quite nice.
Hmm,
So which means
yeah.
that yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
they did a live play of What the What and Chai
mm,
T. What is it? Dual? Two play? The two-player
uh,
version that's on
oh
Kickstarter right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
They did it two
Mm,
days ago in the morning for me, my morning. So I got to wake up and then turn it on straight away. And then obviously this convention is featuring Dan Kazmaiers with the Chai Tea game. So they're running a game with in-game UK on Sunday, which I'm
mhm.
really looking forward to see because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm not backing this one, but I did back the other one.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be, yeah, I'm wondering if I'm gonna regret not backing it and then end up doing it just because I'm really loving the theme. And it's just like, oh, it's a nice two-player, but I don't really play a lot of two-player games because,
Mhm.
for who you have available, it's not
Yeah.
where.
I'm the opposite. I asked for Settlers of Catan for my birthday because I've actually never played Catan, which is probably like a crime or something. But
I
I
haven't
got
either, so it's
oh
okay.
wow, but I got the game and I'm like, okay, this is so popular. I just didn't even think to check the player count, but it's 3 to 4 players only,
Mm,
and I only play 2 player, which
mm,
is so. Thankfully, they do have a 2 player variant on the rules, which is nice. But it was just a shock because I was watching the Watch It Played video by Rodney,
mhm,
um, like that's the dream. If I could ever get a video sponsored and put on Watch It Played, that would be amazing.
mm.
Because his videos are just incredible. But yeah, and he said 3 to 4 player game. I'm like, what? But
I
yeah.
think my dream would be gaming rules. Like obviously the first Kickstarter I did had gaming rules do the video for it, like did a
Hmm.
full preview and a rules teach, which was great. And they also did a live play together with Mark from Dice Tower, I think it was, which
Hmm.
was so cool. But I would love to like, do it again with a game that is more to his style because it was a poor pitch. it wasn't the right fit for the type of games, but I would love to just get a game when I'm gonna work with them that is more angled towards what they actually like playing, because that would be so cool. I absolutely adore gaming rules. Do anything.
Yeah.
Such a treasure, especially in like the UK community. It's just great. But yeah, was it my turn or was it you?
It's my. I'm in the middle of it currently.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We got
Give me a
sidetracked,
second.
which is
Yeah.
allowed. It's okay.
I am going. Okay, I've got an idea. So I'm going for the 6.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 5 because I used my granny and
Oh
I've got
yeah.
5 ingredients in my hand. So I could complete it, but I don't have enough luxury ingredients right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this card to refresh this card. I'm going to play these 2 cards, and then I'm going to use this card to draw 2 more. And thankfully, I just about got it. So there we go.
Nice.
Nice. So I got the star
Oh.
as well.
Okay, so you have full here now, like all 6.
Yeah, it's just visual. I could have more if I wanted to.
Okay, so it's not like you can only have 6 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but is this your end game then? Are you gonna lose because you don't have the last star?
Yeah. That would be interesting, actually. But yeah, so I'm gonna remember that I have 2 cards in my hand left over, because next turn I could use this card which says add the amount of ingredients left over in your hand last turn to your hand size limit for this order. So I'm gonna be doing that for next turn.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna draw 3 cards. Ooh, snap-a-doodle.
Which card are you going for? Sorry.
Oh, this one here. This
okay.
Guy. I like the discard all luxury card. Add as many of them as you want back into your hand. I think that would be good. Okay, so. Okay. So any 7 with 2 luxury. I'm gonna discard 2 cards. And draw 1. Okay. And then I'm gonna how I'm gonna do this. If you have more cards in your discard pile than you have stars, discard a star. Okay. Add the last 2 cards you've discarded this turn back. Discard a luxury card. Discard all cards in every number of ingredients required to complete the order by 1. I'm gonna need this, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then.
No, you could use this now.
Yeah.
Oh, by the end of the turn. Sorry, it says by the end of the turn. Sorry.
Okay. So then I would. Almost. Okay. And then now I have no cards.
Yeah, so now you draw back up to 3.
Oof. Is it doable? Can I do this? I don't think I can. Well, the last 2 cards you discarded back into your hand. Yes, I could do that.
Yeah, you only need 6 ingredients now. I remember you can also draw an additional card if you wanted to. If you ever needed to do that.
I think I am going to do that. Or I could discard a luxury card, increase your hand size limit by 2. And then I pick 2 back. Okay. By 2, so then I'm gonna. I have to
you wouldn't
play
you wouldn't
first.
Yeah, you wouldn't draw yet.
And then now I'm gonna ruin that part. So that didn't work.
Oh, if you want to get rid of your hand again, I guess you could refresh this card.
Oh yeah. Do I though? No, I'm gonna play these. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I don't think I get much tighter than that. This one will just gonna be left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So now
then
you draw all of them.
I draw the next.
Oh no, your hand
Oh,
size is 5 now, isn't it?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Thanks for reminding me. Just trying to remember all of the things. Shuffle them around like this. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can do it!
Nice.
There you go!
Congratulations.
Whew.
3 stars, and you have that ability as well. Oh, now you could use that card if you want.
Now I'm gonna
Fine.
use this card.
Okay, so that
Yes,
I lose a star.
that was my play. Look at that! Look at that!
Very good. I think I might win though now. Let's see.
You might though, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is instantly I'm just gonna add the amount, increase my hand size by 2 because I had 2 cards left over in my hand last turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also gonna increase my hand size limit by the number of stars I have for this order, which is 3. So in total, I increase my hand
Ooh.
size by 5, so it's 8, and I only need an 8. So I'm unless I put these down in the wrong order, I should just win, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
There we go.
Look at that. 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is a neat line.
Yeah, there we go. Right, so yeah, that's a game of Food Time Battle in Space.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Thank you.
I
But
mean,
yeah, like
it's
your
like
deck's probably one of the most fun to play, just because as you saw, then there's like loads of different like little combos you can do, and like different
yeah.
orders of things. My deck's more just like the granny combo, and that's pretty much it.
But it works though. I mean,
Yeah,
you won with the granny combo.
yeah.
So it's not that bad.
No.
It's just
But yeah, so that's Food Time Battle in Space. Am I right to plug the late pledge thing?
yes, you may.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't.
I'm a
I
backer,
don't.
so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you very much. I remember. Where? Let me just get it up. If I know, I've got it in the Discord channel. Where shall I put it? Shall I give you a link or something?
Yeah, pop me the link in our chat on the Discord,
Okay.
and I will copy it and put it into.
Trying to find. There we go.
There we go. I'm also trying to like, where are all the people?
Which one's our chat for?
Oh, just here.
Oh, just the private chat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if anybody is interested in getting like a late pledge, like I said, I ordered 250 units, so there's definitely some spare. Then you can do that there, and I think I'm going to be closing that. I'll close that basically as soon as we're ready to ship, so right up to the day of shipping, which will probably be in a few weeks. 'Cause that's another great thing about the UK manufacturer is that instead of waiting like 2 to 3 months to get your games, I can the turnaround for manufacturing is just about three weeks, and then because they're so close, they're literally like a 40-minute drive away. I can go and pick them up myself if I wanted to in a van. So yeah,
Are you?
quick
That
turnaround.
sounds like something you could make like content around, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be really cool.
Oh, I saw someone do that. Like they were in the Netherlands and then they just went and visited some of their backers that lived in the same town, and I was like, oh, I love this.
Oh wow,
I
that's pretty
want
cool.
more of this.
Yeah.
Here we are. Now you're back showing. That's so cool. So, after this on Langskip, what is going to be next for you in terms of game design? And do you have any secrets you can share with us of what you're working on? Is there more coming?
Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of different games at the moment. I'm working on like a sort of kind of like a trilogy of games, but it's mainly story thread rather than mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to try and because a lot of the focus on my games is making games which have a lot of depth, but for a casual audience. But I've realized that with these games, they are still a tiny bit daunting to a very casual player. Langskip less so because like I've got the prototype here. Like it's a nice colorful board and there's like these little pieces and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
If it will show. So like it's not as daunting as Food Time Battle in Space because there's a lot of cards and on the table it can look a bit scary
Mm-hmm.
because there's so many cards everywhere. So I wanted to make a very like simple looking game as well as in terms of mechanics as well. So the game which I'm thinking about calling well the working title is Drakenhol, which is Dutch for Dragon's Lair, and it is a two-player game and all you do is you roll a dice and you have to play cards. You have in your hand, you have cards numbered 1 to 5, and you have to play cards between you, matching up to that number. But what you can do is you can make other players go over that number and in theory wake the dragon. And then yeah, and then they have to pick up the difference in terms of cards. So say for example, if the way you can make people do this is because once you play cards, they're not in your hand anymore. So you can because you both have numbers 1 to 5, you can gauge what cards other players have. But say for example, if I rolled a 5 and I know that the other player doesn't have a 1 because they played it earlier, I could play a 4. And so now they have to play, say for example, a 2, and
Mm-hmm.
because the total number is 6 and the dice rolled is a 5, then they have to pick up a card, and it's the first player to get rid of all their cards.
Oh,
And that, yeah, it's a simple 5 minute game. You can play it on the train, you can play it in a cafe, you can play wherever, and it's going to have really cool art. But yeah, I've had this story and this world for a while. Like I like world building, but I've never had the opportunity to add them into the game. Like with Food Time Battle in Space, it's sort of the case. Like I started with a story, but it's not really at the forefront of the game.
mm-hmm.
But I've had this world in my mind for a while, and it focuses quite heavily on these like this like clan of dwarves, and so I wanted to make 3 games surrounding like these clan of dwarves. Like the next one after that is sort of a bidding game about like dwarvish investors investing in mines, but you don't know what's actually in the mines unless you wait for the mine to slowly be revealed to you. The mine's like just some hexes, like some hex tiles, and like certain tiles are really high value, certain tiles are really low value, and you could straight away just bid for the mine and put and bid all your money for the mine without knowing what hexes you've got. But like you could bankrupt yourself because of doing that, or you could um, spend turns waiting for the mine to be revealed. So that's sort of like the second game, which is a bidding game, and the third game is a sort of more traditional, sort of like Sagrada and Azul, like a tile drafting and tile laying game. And
Mm.
that is like the trilogy of games, not only in story but also complexity. Like it goes from like very very simple card game to kind of it's got a lot of party elements, but it's not a party game. But for the bidding game, and then after that, you've got like a traditional, almost middleweight tile laying game. And I'm hoping to bring like the customer on a journey through those 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, sort of introduce them to more complex mechanics. Because that's what I was saying at the start. I was saying that I've tried to accomplish this goal of making games casual for making casual games more interesting for players, but I haven't initially captured that casual audience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of the
That's
aim
interesting.
after Langskip anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for tile placement, so you can probably count on my pledge for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Also as well, like it's not just a journey for the customer, but journey for the company as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because with a tile placement, well, with the manufacturers I've spoken to anyway, it might just depend on the manufacturer, but it can be quite expensive to make depending on how many tiles you have. Like for example, Calico is literally just tiles and 4 boards, and it is high quality. But I think the cost for that is about £40, which I would struggle at the moment to think I could accomplish convincing enough people to back at £40 when I still don't think I'm quite a proven company yet. I think if I had a few more Kickstarters under my belt, which are easier to do if the price point is lower, then as the customers are going on this journey, we can go along this journey as well to being more reputable, and then making these like 40, £50 games.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the like 3-year plan, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is, yeah,
Mm.
nice 3 years planned out.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining and for showing me 2 of your games.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for playing them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been looking at the Food Type Battle for InSpace a couple of times, and I was almost joining you for some of the open calls when you had needed more players, and I was like, I should do more of this other thing that I have to do first, and I was like, I'm gonna try to finish it before you start, and then I haven't been able to. So this was a great
Yeah.
opportunity for me to actually get down to playing it. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
probably.
looking over it before you went on Kickstarter, and we had a chat a couple of times there, so
Hmm.
it was nice to actually get to see the game and not just like, yeah, assisting on the journey. And
Yeah.
yeah, actually this game session allowed me to get devoted, so now I have 100 hours of Tabletop Simulator played this
Oh
year.
wow,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm getting
Congratulations.
TTS achievements. Yay. We
Yeah.
were talking about earlier about that I'm a sucker for achievements, and we were like doing table flips.
Oh
So
yeah, I was just about to mention that. Have you done your table flip achievement yet?
yeah, I have
Yeah.
my first two, so I'm working on like the 1,000 table flips, but poof, that
Mm,
is a lot of flips. So I'm
yeah.
not seeing it happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put this over to ending, and then I'm gonna see if I can grab some more game designers later and be back on the stream. Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Cool.
any last words?
Um, just play board games and have fun, I guess. That's the
Yes!
life to live.
Join us in onto the Discord. You can find a lot of games to play. There's something happening all over the time, like all the time. There's something happening, and
Hmm.
obviously this convention was brought from a worldwide team of 4 people from all sides of the world, and we've been really working hard on trying to have a good coverage of content throughout the day, no matter your sleep cycle or time zone. So, stick around, jump into the Discord, and you'll find something to do. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you around.